Так. Ну, о. Продолжаем играть. Угу. Так. Мы сняли труп. Нашли мои документы. Погоди, я что-то делал? Из-за чего умер в прошлый раз?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely up. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know.
Так, что не так? Края планшета, кажется, немного разошлись. Похож на слегка перекошенный выдвижной ящик. Если осторожно перегнуть планшет через колено, пластина с щелчком встает на место. Наверное, можно было бы, ну ты знаешь. Чего?
Without resistance or sound, 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. You jam the compartment shut. It's hard to breathe. The air in your lungs feels sour somehow. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. With the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip. Then made complete. Arson. Petty theft. You don't exactly. It takes about half an hour to piece one. It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. Who knows? One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it too, where they also took photos of themselves on it. And smoked cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up. And you did. so congratulations to you. No, you didn't have time for that. These notes, murder, tum tum tum, at the hookah parlor, was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead. Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker. Mills didn't get off the pot, not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running. No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor too. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum flavor. Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer.
Ну, допустим, ладно. Единственный клиент. Кинопродюсер.
No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah. Until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open. Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Yeah, he liked his hookah. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? Not much has changed in the meat. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
Что не так с идеологией?
Understood. You're that kind of detective.
Что не так-то? Ну, кружка и кружка. Что я в ней не вижу? Красивая кружка. Чего? Вероятно, если я выбрал другие варианты, то я бы смог что-то с ней делать. Нет? Давай попробуем другие.
It's just a racist, but it will not happen. The mug...
Серьезно? Ну ладно. Я думаю, это не повлияет на исход игры. Что я не стал хуесосить эту кружку. Так. Давай-ка попробуем. Что попробуем? Что это такое? А, ничего. Он туда не хочет идти. Я вообще темно на улице. Ну, хотя логично. Ночь на дворе. Ночь, ну, а хотя какая разница? Ночь так ночь. Да, пожалуй, надо взять фонарик. краям обвалится. Ба-ба-ба, ведерко. Что это? Черная тень коллекционная. Денежки. Ладно, понятно. А что открыть-то должен был? Фига, сколько заданий. Во дворе за теплицей. Это дверь на цокольном этаже. Двор за теплицей. Что такое теплица вообще? То есть я понимаю. Ты понимаешь, что такое теплица, да? Там, где растения. Но я не встречал ее здесь. Может, карту глянуть. Где есть что-нибудь похожее на теплицу? Вообще, где есть что-нибудь похожее на что-либо? Ну, рисунок не очень соответствует. Теплица. Так, строительное место я там бывал. Окей. Этот памятник я помню, окей. Этот, видим, постоял домик, где я. Тоже окей. Что теплица? Это прозрачная хрень? Я не знаю, куда попасть. Там церковь. Дети что-то не спят. Видимо, не там. Ладно, надо с утра посрать. Все спят. О, а это они падают, да? Да.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. The trash collection service, CS Municipal.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves. Thank you anyway.
I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Yes. Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Ну-ка, с кем что скажешь?
I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of
Какие
this
нахрен
establishment.
заведения интересы, если это ночью нет людей? Ой, блин.
Good luck trying to use it.
Что это значит? Он постукивает ногой по металлическому ящику в задней части стойки. Сейф?
Draconian measures.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Ну посмотрим, что там у тебя в мотокаре есть. Который я вообще ни душой не буду, где он находится. Да такое.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the system.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
Ломбард у канала в Мартинезе. Бля.
Yes, there's one 100 meters south of here. I think it's called Roy's Nest or something. If I'm not mistaken, it should be
Допоздна?
open
Это
late.
круглосуточно или как?
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinner.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute like a leopard waking from its sleep. The lights unfold with a little click. Cast.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of them.
Так, еще раз. Какие угол от площади? Я не могу попасть в угол от площади. Дурацкая карта, она непонятная мне. Вода, водоканал. Какая нахрен юг от площади? А, хер. Почему это только сейчас пишется? Юг от площади. Вот имеется в виду вот так. Этот юг. Много тунца. Скоротечное время. Высокий слог. Так.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of smells like worn cotton, and a worn cotton with a side of flea mark.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your hell yeah, man. I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just pure exemplar. A fan? No, I wouldn't go that far. Most people don't think that the man from Helmdale really existed. I mean, even if the man from Helmdale didn't exist before...
Okay.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. Besides, I've been to Kotla.
It's for the best, because Helmdale isn't... His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual...
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
But why? I suppose that makes sense, yes. Please go ahead and take
Хрена
it.
себе, как легко всё.
Welcome.
Еще раз, а чем мне эта футболка? Грубо сила. Но авторитет становится низким.
It's not often that I see officers from the art. What can I do for you? Oh no, not at all.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, as you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky, a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. Microlidon is just something you know, I was with the emergency relief.
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical.
A bad idea.
The People's Pile was a primitive nuclear reactor. All construction, needless to say, an emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure.
We were an all-volunteer force.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines.
I lived by the river since there wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted. There's a reason. So much. No one's. A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear. The cleanup. So I came to Martinet. I like the theory more than the story.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign?
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real unit for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Да ладно. Пока так сильно в деньгах не нуждаюсь, наверное. Блин, вот непонятно, продам вещь, она кажется нужна. Будет обидно. Основная фотокарточка трупа.
Another time, perhaps. I doubt it. I do my...
He doesn't know anything.
Can't say I'm a huge admirer of wild pines. And I can't... What should I have for it? No, just... people...
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Так.
Hello, hello. Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Ему стало больно где-то в глубине души.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photo, she didn't seem like a policeman. Although she kept referring to herself as a pig. Which was, truth be told, she was...
Right, so, let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find out.
Логично, блин. Не взять мне это говорить.
My apologies, officer, but I...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their wall. They went their way. It was a trip.
Wait, then it might be true. Everard's claims.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous as Everard seem like they're lying, even when they're really being...
Of course. Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the... He won't be your nog, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
If you say, here you go, man. I respect your decision, officer. What else can I help you? Sure thing. Sure, man.
You see rows of toy soldiers, big men on big horses.
Franco-Nigerian knights.
They're not all blue.
Which ones? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the revolution.
This set of soldiers...
You're probably talking... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
Чего, блядь? Зачем я должен в этом вдумываться? Вы говорите про революционеров. Думаю, их бедность подчеркнута намеренно. Когда ставишь их рядом с реалистами, невозможно их представить, чтобы они могли победить. Думаю, это должно вселить в людей надежду. Такой контраст приводит в уныние. Никому не ставить в сражении с воинствующим капиталом. Да как-то я не знаю.
Maybe.
You see rows of toy soldiers. Everything you pick up.
А ёж, мать-то. 83%. Как я мог промахнуться?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding them. Everything you pick.
Серьезно? Да нет, я так не сдамся. Это хрень какая-то.
You see rows of toy soldiers. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider. The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend.
Я знаю.
50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny...
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky?
Зачем я ее купил? Я не знаю. Наверное, когда я совмещу их, я смогу продать подороже. Хрен его знает. Но не важно.
The boomboxes on the shelf. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold, and just make sure it works.
Is the Harman Welshie W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in... If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Absolutely.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
The stuff I record myself.
Maybe you should ditch music as... A typical Martinez street light sits among the light pole, has been carefully cut, and the wiring has... This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer.
His manner is casual.
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small...
The light has been removed and rewired. That's 2 transformations. But what about the third?
The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its...
Okay, that checks out.
Ладно, давай отоспимся в отеле. Что?
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
There she is.
Around the borders of the watermark, The rectangular watermark is over. You catch a faint glimmer from a broken bit.
Ah, Martinez at night. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3. The first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? You don't. The next is the longest. It runs. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, the last row has 3. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it...
Alpha male officers who are proud of their number.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? Cool. I'm glad you joined us. Not a lot of money in Doom. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is... There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do, but it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Yes. Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Par exemple, why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Well?
Да ладно, чего бесить-то?
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly... The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Do I have a shaker in my hand?
It's not a shaker.
Am I smiling? Because I'm not...
Play it calm. This man needs to understand.
Like what? Another thing. Great. I love those.
В смысле нельзя на кухню?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried. He was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that. Yes?
Когда же я микрофон поварю? Что для этого требуется? Короче, ладно. Ну-ка, я смогу ночью вытащить?
The door is closed.
Ладно, да, не смогу.
This is the door to the room.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Сейчас меня будут ругать.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Как поэтично.
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction,
А
basically.
раньше не мог?
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day. We performed a thorough initial inspection of the victim's body. So that's... Then you shot the body down, which was quite a shot.
О, я рад.
I admit I wasn't sure whether I should give you the gun, but I'm glad I did. We still have to perform the autopsy, though. But now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean. Including Everard Clare, the daunting adversary. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with you.
He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. Moving on. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really must do that. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? Alright, but... And forgive me, this has been bothering me since this morning. How have you managed to run around all day wearing only one shoe?
Да потому что не смог надеть оба ботинка сразу. Это какой-то страшный квест.
Imagine how much faster you could run wearing a cool patent leather shoe on each foot.
Да.
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always... Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than... The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to... We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station closely. It prevents... You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished. We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use the... Not a good position to be in, by the way. A coalition government, and the moral intern, more broadly. The RCM was formed, or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Rebachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Be sentimental if you like.
Or if they think you do.
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. They're a union of center-left, and what do they believe in?
Those others.
Interesting question.
Something kind. Something like the dark blue.
A historic figure? The moral intern are a fact. Do you?
Так, Мэритен, факт. Стараюсь не высказываться от мнения относительно фактов, пока они не изменятся. смотрит на город Мизу. Загадочно. Какая-то... Надо перекусить, а то я не понимаю, что тут написано. Дела плохи в городе? Не знаю, с чем сравнивать. То, что ты сделали, не поддается описанию. Поддается? Почему? Мы пешки крупнейшей в мире буржуазная организация на защите буржуазных прав. И что? Все должны быть ферзями или что? Как-то... Иммигранты, либеральные кипы, ебанутые мужики, которые превращаются в пап. Ну, так жизнь устроена. Если подумать, то у меня нет никакого мнения по этому поводу, забудь. Давай без разницы.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Какие нахрен вигиланты?
Sadly, it is what we already are.
The dying lights of the city. An aerostatic passes overhead.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's our fault for leaving this place. We run this city. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... Me too.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Да, какой-то бессмысленный разговор. Да, давай. В принципе, это возможность пойти погулять по городу, но дождь. Тем более я могу прийти только к этому главарю стройки и купить свой пистолет хренькой.
The bed is cold and not.
Может быть, следующая ночь.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out, and then sleep doesn't come. And then sleep doesn't come. Maybe it's the bed's fault. Its synthetic filling has smells of alcohol and sweat, and it barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your book. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union, your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you.
Чего? Теперь будут сны страшные сниться или что? Ясно. Вот, провидение. Диско. Yeah. Nice.
Do you remember the scent of you? What it says on the can, Harry? Answer the question. You're not kidding anyone, Harry. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth? Oh no, Funky, tell me, where are your friends? Human beings, they were only cramping your You failed in everything. You really dropped the ball, Harry. No, Harry. Your You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no stinky boy. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high con. You're trying. So something is wrong. Oh yeah, time to go to work in the shit factory.
Кого труба зовет. Какой-то... Это одна из какой-то... Немного странно, когда в игре персонажа хуесосят, ты как бы начинаешь на свой счет воспринимать. Обидно.
Good going, buddy. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yours? Suit yourself. Slow, sad.
Да. Пропаганда.
The door is closed. Still nothing.
Ладно, не буду проверять балкон. Кто-то по 8 встает. Надо бы мне тоже. Ух ты, это какая... Завтракашняя.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it.
Ну какой молодец.
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the men who drink beer for breakfast. Everything points to the dock workers union. Which may, of course, all be wrong. That would just escalate tensions. No captain. In fact, even the death. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom, but aren't you curious?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway,
You see a heavy steel door. You see the door does not.
Ладно, сейчас я вернусь. Не-не-не-не. Ой, подарок надо брать стоит.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height
Еще не
window.
время.
The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
Да.
Over here.
Ну, что ты хочешь мне сказать, садовница?
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten.
Фига себе она грубая.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
No, I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're
Юрист
looking for
консульт.
Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming.
Ой, ой, ой.
It
Дай мне
doesn't matter
посрать.
if you recognize our authority.
Да.
She says nothing. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries. And
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands.
you are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men. What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't, like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have here? What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you.
Да, да, как же.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. Aggressive, you make your living enforcing violence.
Just dock workers. Do dock workers spy?
Listen, you moral
Да,
intelligence.
да, да, да.
yeah.
Сейчас надо
So
будет
ask
обзывать.
what you came to ask, or get back
Ой,
to your
ёшкин кот.
commanders.
Там говорил, что у меня есть навык давать опыт за левые высказывания, мысли. Где тут левая? Левая это коммунизм? Что это? Как я пойму? Левая это типа либералы, нет? За свободу.
I don't need privatization peons from a rent-a-cop. Just do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
За что я деньги-то получил? Так, что-то я не понимаю. За что-то я получаю деньги, но... Так. Может, история действий какая-нибудь? Это нет. Ультралиберальные варианты диалога дают плюс 1 реал. Левый вариант дает 4 очка опыта. Вообще-то опыт больше нужен. Я хочу разобраться. Значит, приватизация, это у меня что было? Где? Ультралиберальная, ага. А левая, что такое? О, господи. Коммунизм. Ну, логично. Сцена анархизм, анархокоммунизм, социализм. Да я даже в этом не разбираюсь. Давай попробуем.
Let me handle this. Detective disorient.
Her entire character.
No. So let's get to it. That's Titus.
It doesn't.
She says, could this be the Miss Beaufort? That
I suggest
even though she has
you are not here to, like I already told you. What you want is of no significance. What are we going to do? The Union is, if anything, it is the aggressive.
Just duck.
Listen, you moral
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
Так.
No one is emotional here. Aggressive.
Just duck.
Listen, you moral.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get sober. Aggressive.
Just duck.
Listen, you
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job. Ask your questions.
strange. It's as if people don't believe her.
Aggressive.
Just duck work.
Listen.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or I don't need privatization peons from a...
Ясно. Там не было просто такого варианта. Очень жаль.
This is where you say you're a bit.
No.
Detective.
Oh, this is about.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy.
I can't
Blah,
for
blah,
the
blah,
life
blah.
of me understand why.
You might want to start asking your questions now.
А это был вопрос.
Do a head count first. Connect these starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man sitting on his right. Standard working boots across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 40. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter, and then standard working boot. Steel reinforced toe. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club in the far corner. Standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic on his neck. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41. With the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face.
Так,
Me,
значит, это он сделал.
watery eyes. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46. Deep marks. Probably carried the victim over.
Фига,
In conclusion,
я все раскрыл.
these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything.
the fuck is with you, fella? The pretty boy. You got.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
container belt, like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we did this together.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
Как-то все.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Нет, нормальный свет. Не буду менять.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. He stepped.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike.
A live grenade, right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm R&E.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Да уж.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation?
to kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out.
There's something odd. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not?
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Why? 'Cause he was worth.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up.
A live grenade.
I can't prove it, but wrong
From rape
to kill us all.
Yeah. He said,
He grabbed someone?
yeah. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt?
No.
There's nothing you can do
Да,
for now.
блять.
He's stonewalling you.
Unconscious body.
Then we left him for Seagull.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up. Actually, there are...
This is where you say your bit.
Ну, что за пауза странная? Что это должно быть?
Detective.
Oh,
You should.
Oh, he was a...
I can't.
You might want to...
Do a head count first. Started sitting on it across. And he spent his... And then, the M in the far corner. Standard working on his neck. Let's call size in the mid. In conclusion, exactly.
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy?
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
It has to be good if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the loot.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's...
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is... You're not cops here.
Конечно.
Don't go digging around.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
The pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
You mean these boots?
We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out.
Yeah.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of it.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Why? 'Cause he was iron.
What kind of...
The kind that...
Alive?
I can't prove it. Wrong?
From rape to arrest.
To kill us all.
Yeah. He said it was...
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. Show me your con. Why don't you show...
Aren't you fucking...
Yeah.
There's something. Seems like they don't want to talk about that.
No.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Его воля. Так-то, наверное, прокачать я могу. Зачем-то. Где она? Нет, не могу.
How many people have you...
Shares
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years.
the River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Rest assured, lawman. None worse than our guy. He got what was coming to him.
Are you deaf? Do you think you...
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does?
Восьмой парень не парень, это девушка. И чего мне сказать?
It wasn't a question, dickwad. How fuck...
This asshole is worse.
I think you got your answer.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. Are you deaf? Do you think you...
A trick question. Don't.
Who do you fucking think?
That's right, ass.
I think...
No, you did not get an answer. Are you deaf? Do you think...
A trick question.
Who do you fucking think does...
The sweaty man turns red and...
It's not the fat ass. Titus runs the...
I think you got your...
Yes, there are... Are you deaf? Do you think you could...
A trick question.
Who do you fucking think does?
Theo's a great guy. A great guy.
I think.
Yes, there are some... Are you deaf? Do you think...
A trick question.
Who do you fucking...
You keep him the fuck out of this. We have...
When the shit starts spinning, it will not land on Mr. Clare. That's the deal here. The fixer will ignore the notion completely, focusing on Titus's culpability.
When Titus Hardy says he runs the Hardy Boys, he means that in an administrative capacity. On that night, are you deaf? Do you think...
A trick question.
Who do you fucking think does...
Titus, no one was thinking...
That there's any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him.
No. 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 Fuck no! The big dick is right here.
Disregard the outburst, officer. None of the boys have any comments on their power relations. That night, they acted as one. That's all. You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. See?
Known him?
Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks.
By the Pines cow, you mean the represent?
No. Why don't you ask her about the...
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. I've done this job for long enough to know that...
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law. Again.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Так, надеюсь, еще будут шансы. Я просто хочу сохранить авторитет. Ну-ка, что не поменяется? А из одежды? Нет.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. Didn't
they take...
This is where an autopsy would come in handy.
Titus.
We overpowered.
Then we left.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then, see, Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But... Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man. This little rat-faced fellow is solid, too. Always fidgety, yes, but no check. Him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there.
Ага, холостенький.
No.
Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
Ну да, типа натащил.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think?
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar.
And fuck you too, copper. Picking on it.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
No.
Of course he's having
Fuck off.
Keep your eye on this.
Like what, copper? Yeah, lawman.
It's almost an anthropological site. What?
Not in the arresting.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Wise move. You made the right choice there.
Он пропал. Да блин, эта игра этим бесит. Тем, что...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
ничего не помогает. А, не могу.
Looks like
глюк, но
the
сейчас будет
circus left
более
town,
высокое значение.
but the clowns are still here.
Не.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one, Titus.
Yeah, Long.
It's almost
Not in the...
while the little rat-faced man...
Look, coppers. I know you think you're doing your job here.
That's an Easter 50. A Ziemsk-made monstrosity. Almighty God. Even Dick Mullen only has a 45. The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast. Not an echo. No one screams.
Ясненько. Я помер.
More dead.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. We hang.
Didn't they teach you...
This is where an autopsy would
Titus.
We overpowered him.
Then we left him.
make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it actually...
Пам-пара-пам-пам.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. We hang.
Didn't they teach...
This is where an autopsy...
Titus.
We overpowered.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable. Actually, well...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one.
We hang.
Didn't they teach...
This is where an autopsy would come
Titus.
We overpowered.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Actually,
А, блин.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one.
We hang.
Didn't they teach...
this is where an
Titus.
We overpowered him.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Actually,
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. We hanged him up.
Didn't they teach you...
this is where an autopsy...
Titus.
We overpowered.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Actually,
Блин, эта игра делает мне параноидально. Теперь каждый раз, когда добиваться успеха, буду сохранять всеми силами. Потому что это пиздец какой-то. 43% шанс на успех. Уже 5-й раз пробую, по-моему, и нифига. Только кто-кто.
Looks like the The circus
Это как
left
с
town,
монеткой. 5 раз подряд
but the
кинуть
clowns are still
орел.
here.
Серьезно.
Again.
Good.
We
Didn't they teach
Я
This is
должен
where
выслушивать
an
эту
autopsy
хренотень.
would come in.
Titus,
overpowered him.
Then we left him.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then,
40.
actually,
Да это просто уже не смешно, ни хера. Я с 28% шанса успеха меньше возился, чем с этим.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still
Игра
here.
меня наказывает. Зачем-то.
it's step.
Нафуа. Блядство.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Didn't they teach?
This is where an autopsy.
Titus,
We overpowered.
Then we left.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable. Actually,
Да почему? Да как такое может быть? Final cut. Таких баков, как не знаю что.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one, Titus.
We
Didn't they teach?
this is where an
Titus,
overpowered.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable. Actually,
Я уже из упрямства это буду делать. Я не понимаю, почему эта хрень происходит, но я буду продолжать.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. We hanged him.
Didn't they teach?
this is where an
Titus,
We overpowered him.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Actually, they're admirably,
Что не
surprisingly
так?
composed.
Почему?
The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way.
То есть мне не получается выкинуть больше 8 на кубике? А почему говоришь, что шанс 50 на 50? Это же неправильно.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one.
We hang.
Didn't they teach?
This is where an
Titus,
We overpowered.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up. Actually,
Да.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. We hang.
Didn't they teach?
this is where an
Titus,
We overpowered.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable. Actually,
Хотя, стоп, погоди. Тут каждый раз попадает 1,3, так что ли? Почему? Сейчас проверю. Если снова попадет 1,3, значит все хреново.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. We hang.
Didn't they teach?
this is where an
Titus,
We overpowered.
Then we left.
make them a bit more uncomfortable. Titus is
Ah,
solid
oh.
as a rock, and so are a few others. Elaine, this little him neither.
Ну, я дождусь когда-нибудь, когда он надышится.
No. Of course he's.
Fuck off.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy.
With numb.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fuck?
And fuck you.
This one is a stone wall.
Like what, Copper? About fucking time.
Только смысла я не понял, но узнал я, что этот непробиваемый, что... А
Looks
вот
like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
что если другие просто снова посмотрим, а там появится...
Again. How many people?
Chairs electric.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
But you see, a lawman, is something people...
Are you deaf? Do you think
A trick question. Don't.
that's for the what you can?
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
Why? 'Cause he was... So am I. Now, about fucking time.
Ладно.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window.
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she...
And there's no public...
The closest...
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. The union office probably has a phone, but the manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, I was also...
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind.
That's just it. You have more...
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions...
Just some field works, but they should have returned by now. Oh, sweetie, Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's... There's a name...
I can't...
Some fringe sciences exactly...
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but...
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel. Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you.
Oh.
You've spared me another sleep.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the
The quest for...
And if you see him, let him know. Oh, you're such a dear. Oh, yeah.
It's
That's,
She's used...
My apology.
It's not a... Searching for such speed.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline. But you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Yes, guess what's yours? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest.
Нет.
Let's make it official then, shall we? What? Jealous of the sorry? They'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual Copo type from sorry to anything. Yes, impotent rage and lamentation. Let's wrap it up? Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info, or that won't happen.
Ну ладно. Ты же знаешь, что я принимаю эту идею, правильно? Попробуй прокачать внушение. Да. Во-первых, раз. Во-вторых, бонус предметов. Что мне? Без рубашки. Угу.
hello, dear. There you are
Так-то
again.
лучше.
You're an enthusiastic.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. And I don't.
Ooh, tough choice there.
Yes. It's the kind green ape. Half-war story. Yes, it was reported by soldiers. Yes, indeed, there is. It's our, which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own, just like your partners.
I'm beginning to wonder if I should.
Please don't misunderstand me, either of you. I didn't mean to imply that.
A tremendous evolutionary advantage. Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
The lieutenant pauses.
Ah, fuck it. Let's...
Well, the biggest crypt, the giant, lives in the most arid part. No one knows the towering...
Hooey. No animal can be that loud.
That's what makes... There are limits.
Gravity anomaly.
Cryobact. Yes, the bacterial... Mizу disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study. No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life. Yes, the bacteria...
It's actually a little hard to see. But do go on.
Yes, and we can assume that she is the gnome of Jeroma. Oh, yes, it was. A couple of... It still took the...
If the body of the...
Alas, instead...
Alas. Always. Alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that...
I understand your skepticism. What an
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible. Okay.
It's the...
Kolda Mama Dakwa can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
Yes, although the low part...
Fine, I'll bite.
Many scientists have asked the same question. It could be plenty. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothill, the scientists soon they realized that sequester, time, just that is... They tried to communicate...
They cancel each other out.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so after that.
Of course.
I'm glad you did, dear. What about what? I'm glad you like them. But I'm not really one to tell you about. Oh, dear.
You can't go around forever short feeling.
Oh.
The lieutenant pulls out.
One other thing. We'll be celebrating our 6th via that we hit it up.
She's skipping over some important...
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well?
Ah, yes. Phasmatodea.
Where other hence it's...
I knew it.
It's not made up. It's simply elusive. So much... Well, some team... Of course,
Enthusiasm is...
I suppose I have something of a... Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into... Yes, it can... Oh, dear. Morel can explain it all.
You know...
Of course, officers. Is there a particular... I'm glad you like them.
Да. Никакого дополнительного опыта. Ну ладно. Тут левый взгляда не выскажешь, к сожалению. Это да.
I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went...
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl. Definitely.
Так, сколько мне опыта? Не так уж много. Это дождь.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. With the permeables drawing, an aluminium, a bunch of sodden papers sagged from arson, petty theft. You don't exactly close them. Thin, see-through. The rest of the stinking celluloid. It's made of dark blue plastic. Something and something small inside. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli. But it is not with your hands. You four-sized page. The acidics, you know, like the bits they put into public piss bowl. Your nose does not understand. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. It's slightly, ever so.
Не понимаю. Так. Штаны мешают мне.
In the morning light, the white on blue police livery on the motor carriage. Do something important. This is a Caprice Canema with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine. The high center of balance is offset by due to a quite steep price tag. It is very unusual to see one in police livery.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a man. That's got to be a major advancement over the K.
7.2. Supercharged. Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. Maybe. Yes.
And means no.
Yes? What do you want to know? Yeah. 3 days ago, during that time, they didn't identify themselves in any way. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what... Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest. Good.
А за сколько я там хотел купить кость? Я что-то не помню уже. Ой, нет. Или тут.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft...
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. This orange machine, you slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too... No, this is going to need... If you want to try...
Монтировка.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Нужна другая монтировка. Бывает.
The bear's eyes are dead.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Very good. Double one universal die for Wirral Untethered.
Stop it.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine, through the dark.
Трепет, требуется 14, короче. Я не потянул.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Здесь тоже не получится. У меня еще -2 от мыслей. Блин. Хотя, погоди, чё? Чтобы просмотреть доступные белые проверки, откройте вкладку «Карта в журнале». Да? То что-то дает? Загадка. Давай-ка попробуем все-таки пройтись по ним. Вот среднее внушение. Аннет. Попробуем к Аннет пойти. Что бы это ни значило. То, вот это Аннет, нет?
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Что у меня с внушением? Прокачано. Да.
Ace's low. For the rest of the world, the Ace's low is just some cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades. And those cargo pants look like they could fit tools for hot fixing your burning aerostatic. You should ask him about this.
Ну, допустим. Вроде это без минусов. А. 13 часов. Долго. А много там требуется грубых сил? Да. Ладно. Ой.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every... René, you... I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old.
Yeah.
Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a
Я
girl.
проиграл? Или что?
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight.
Что?
No matter.
Давай почитаем.
You'll make it work.
Как тебе совесть хватает ныть в своей спине каждый раз, когда надо достать рулетку? Рене, это человек с вилкой в мире супов. Прошу тебя, давай просто насладимся игрой. Я пытаюсь, но ты же всю концентрацию забиваешь. Ты старая, и это я вижу. Ну как было бы старый, хватит хватать свою задницу, будет это девичье.
The cold metal already your muscles are. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there. An embodiment of pure motion. A fine-tuned local.
Этого добиваюсь я, нет?
Merde! Bordel de merde!
Меня сейчас отпиздит или что?
A whorehouse of shit. It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters.
Это да.
What the hell is your problem? I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so good. You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
5 бурями.
Yes, pétanque. You ruined up.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You are as a
О, у меня
goddamn
есть спортивная
bull.
игра.
Will this... No, it will goddamn not.
Thank you, officer. This is really something. Honestly, I think it's better than our
5
old
очков это
bull
мало.
Mon Dieu.
Вот как их продавать после
All
этого?
right, all right.
Yes. Why did you come here? You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point.
Так. Практика показывает, надо сохранять все.
I have...
Yes, that's what you need.
René, hello, officer. How might I be of assistance of this? Let me think. No.
Then help them.
He means caviar.
I wish I...
Odd. He doesn't seem to...
I'm not...
Of course he's holding.
Can I at least finish my... Everyone...
What do you...
The old soul. There he stands.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Oh, yes. Not in the...
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union. and he doesn't know anything.
Of course he's not a member. I hate the socialist rabble.
Writing work mostly. Oh.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say.
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I believe.
Mon Dieu.
I don't even... Officer.
He just...
Of course. Don't sink into anything.
I prefer...
Mon Dieu.
I don't even consider myself... Just...
Mon.
No, thank you. I'm sorry, officer.
The only one you have.
The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made, in addition to the obvious slice of ham. A fat one. You notice a brim...
Believe me, officer. I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my... Fuck off!
A glimmer...
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But that...
And it's gone.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? We are a special kind of vermin, gas.
Sure, officer. No,
Погоди, а где вот эта куча диалогов? Тут что ли?
Vigilance officer? What? Yes. The debate. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than... Yes, it does. Unfortunately, it's a private matter.
You see, officer, René is the...
I'm fine. Got no one. The bus has been unmanned since last...
No one has...
Yes. It's...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need...
The possibility of someone being in there.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the wall.
Look, officer. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, no one.
No one?
Yes.
Look, officer. The Evrard created the...
Can we conclude the topic of my... Yes, it does. No one.
No one?
Yes.
Look, officer. Evrard created this job for René because he knows the...
It's not just up there.
Something about him has changed. He's calmer somehow.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, no one.
No one?
Yes.
Look, officer.
The
Evrard created the...
Yes, yes, yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? She is nobody.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, yes. Like I said, unfortunately I don't. In Martinez, cop is a...
He doesn't know about the crime.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and as no man can afford to turn his eyes to the horizon if his rear isn't...
The RCM, the unlike man, they also...
I'm glad at least some people keep a level... Yes. No. Why what? Because that's what happens when communists, communists, socialists, and... Sadly, should have fought dirty.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Because this place... Yes, Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revolution. This here is blood...
Blood ground.
Damn right, the rest of the city...
Well,
You don't even be...
Thinking men have opinions on these
Так, социалисты покладки в рабочий класс. О, коммунизм.
Preposterous! I would. Instead, all this is just what the commies wanted. It doesn't. The damn voice.
He slouches as he says that. It makes
a true king
some manner of self-deceit.
This was Rennie. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. It's a bell
His moves are quick and precise as he first checks the weapon.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find... I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible. Ah, yes!
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting...
A superpower! Feared and respected. Decisively. without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never. A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The Carabiner doesn't reply.
Oh, halt!
You can't even take the risk. That's why the...
Of course.
Philippe III was even...
He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
From what I've seen of the officers... Right.
Самообладание.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's also its time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we could trust you. Remember, real democracy.
Так, что там по эмпатии было? Почему она у меня пониженная? Или это не это? Самообладание. Так. Понятненько.
Hear that? Magnesium. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. Yes, if you want to live.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you?
Так, ладно. С этим хотя бы можно как-то. Давай попробуем.
Vigilance officer.
All you
Еще раз.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner?
All you observe.
Yes?
Ой.
Vigilance officer, what can this...
All you...
А есть у меня шансы. Хорош.
Vigilance officer, what can...
All you observe.
Я смогу.
Vigilance officer.
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle in 2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, a crowned head in front of 2. It's the crown, a small blue. The setting sun was a decoration used
for bravery. I'm sure, but I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women. Honor is everything.
Whoa, sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you...
For doing my...
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into...
It was on the... King Frisel, alas.
He really despises the
purple velvet tunic.
To keep the long and bloody story short, the rebels were smart. They let us come real close. I got shot in the left shoulder, then his horse. Driven mad by the noise and smell of... I grabbed my...
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau.
The bane of...
When I came to, the Dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one. Right. So I grabbed the prick and started through some mirror. He was the commanding officer.
You sense he's downplaying it.
Because he was a goddamn royal blood.
Whoa, man-loving. It is not. The old Caribbean.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you and that he...
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself. It's there.
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all. How did you find the story to be, officer? Maybe, but also... Oh no, you have to...
Do not speak of what you know nothing of... Bah! There were many such stories in those days.
Oh yes,
I'm not getting into...
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Зря закину буль, да? Драма. Ладно, хрен с ним пока. Я вот что, вдруг вспомнил, что я могу повысить свою силу кардинально и попробовать поднять ту... А нет, я уже зайду отсюда. Так, попробуем. Во-первых, про грубую силу. Надо пока убрать то, что это мешает. Вот. Так, раз. Во-вторых, где тут грубая сила? Надо прокачать ее немножко. Ты. В-третьих, у меня есть одежда. Работать. Ну как, есть у меня шанс?
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Сейчас он умрет или что?
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slip.
Weightlifting was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Блин, я на самом деле думаю, я получу какие-то мысли после этого. Может быть, неудачи как раз к лучшему. Надо будет пробовать.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands...
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford a better grip.
Блин, я почти уверен, когда подниму эту штангу, то я просто получу к духу плюс восстановление. Это такая хрень ненужная.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. You managed to hoist it off the ground.
It was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Почему всяких рода под окнами в 3 часа ночи ездят?
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hand...
Weightlifting was never my... At the station gym, I mean. I prefer...
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. You managed to hoist it off the ground.
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford...
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Yeah.
Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up. A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to.
Good technique.
The barbell weight.
Так, теперь попробуем холодильник открыть. А куда? Или что?
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Right. It's dark. And...
Ну, то есть тут ничего новенького.
tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Cast... A thick layer of coal dust covers the...
Ой. Не туда. Не то. А где?
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly
Игральная
melting.
кость. Интересно. Чему она в данном случае играет роль? Так, а где еще я могу силу свою применить? Мусорный бак. Так я уже.
The trash container stands. The smell of rotten food rises to
Другой,
greet
что ли?
you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong.
Наверное, другой мусорный бак. Ой. Ну ладно.
The rotting man. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano. You must have me confused. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
There truly is a time for everything. Even for Yellow God. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you... That's right.
The dead man stares in silence. Above those, an 11 field info.
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your...
KK57.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
And what would that make the alphanumeric? I do. KK57. Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi, the pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neat.
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Заклеишь, не узнаешь.
Nor does he look male.
We're still going with March 4th. 5th. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable.
KK57 050.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body. Then again...
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosenkrantz, elsewhere yet. And so, all...
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copy.
Central nervous...
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to...
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with...
I think that may well be the moral of... Good.
With his... You hear cracks.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Что?
The hyoid bone is fractured. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions.
No scream. No, it's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid. Inside, you see dark...
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. Na. Ah. Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile duct. Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory.
Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology. Na. Unless you have...
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Like a toxicology screening? Cardiovascular. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? I'm afraid we can't continue before we've gone through both the extra clothes.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable. The
boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a The assistant has the deceased has well-nourished. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet. The stench, there must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil. More hair. For a fraction of a second you feel something. An irregularity. What was what? Brilliantine. There's brilliant.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Ligature mark. The steel wiring.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Что? Погоди, почему тут два болтореза? Ну, в смысле, два варианта. Достать болторез с прорезиненными ручками.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the holes. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now.
Так,
Like a
еще...
flower arranger. 2 cuts, and it should come loose.
Остановлю вот это. Ну как? Yeah.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a...
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip...
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin. Above chest is intact.
No! Let's get up and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Back is symmetrical and in addition, I see smaller residuals.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades.
We have a real museum here. Last item, hands.
The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Так, погоди, давай сохраним сначала.
The rotting man. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Let's see. We have bite marks.
Be thorough. If
head, chest, and your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a...
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man, beneath the description of injury.
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark. I see hemorrhaging on the skin.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man... Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
Why do you say that? Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal? Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you're right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in... I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will draw for processing.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Shoot, loony rooney. Huh? You're misquoting me, Rooney. I said communist.
You really need to learn the difference, buddy.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manner.
The man is deep. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Damn it. This is okay. So you can sneak out of your roommate.
I thought we decided.
Damn it. Okay. So you can sneak out of your roommate after he's gone to sleep.
Восприятие. Как теперь повысить? Так, что тут у нас есть? Сумрак. Электрохимия.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands.
Ладно, качаем восприятие и давай еще.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark. His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand, they are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as...
The fuck is he doing?
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
No.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth, can you feel it? You're so close. Rip a vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion color.
Kuno is silent. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for two.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart. This man will never sleep again. Never wake. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with. The lieutenant answers with a sound.
Fucking cavity, see?
Да я прям профессиональный медик, смотрю.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
Can you get to it?
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium. Right, the object that is in there stops just short of the skull. And this is the irregularity you felt before.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Forget about the fucking exit wound, Beano. The pig is wearing him like a fuck puppet.
Мусор
You
найти его
pick the
на руку,
object
как его
between your
руку.
index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all the inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove with a plop. Your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood.
Fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. Erases
A non-caliber rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. Of course, you deserve it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an high velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion, fatal injury.
Я вообще не уверен.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal.
Так я и не писал.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead. I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it doesn't explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a
Вроде не из
little
моей
easier.
пушки, иначе бы я узнал.
To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here? Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure. Yes, we should take a closer look at it.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of... Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Угу. Так, только пока трупик давай останем, я хочу и обувь. Так. Блин, уже 3 часа. Ну ладно.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag, bearing the...
What? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, if we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours...
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to... You can just about make out a few striations near the base. It's quite destroyed. Some of...
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader, like those...
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech...
Even the RCM uses ordinary and jacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. You can't remember...
Серьезно? Я не стал сохранять, потому что подумал, ну это невероятно, чтобы он как бы... на это блядство. Надеюсь, я сохранил? После осмотра трупа. Ну да, сейчас по пуле определю.
The bullet is safely sealed away in...
What? Well, if we find... In conclusion, the more we know about...
The jacket of the bullet, you can just... It's quite...
What can you say about the bullet? So, a jacketed bullet.
Highly unusual.
Even the RCM uses ordinary and jacketed...
The squashed... You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. A rifle. Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter. The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusual. No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla...
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzleloaders once they've...
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Imagine if ever... But back to the investigation. Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Круть. Ладно, я сейчас вот так сделаю. И выйду. Ну что ж, всем